Rainbow Springs State Park. Located in the town of Dunlean, Rainbow Springs has been utilized by humans and animals alike for centuries. Privately owned in the 1930s, the original conquerors of this land created a theme park to attract tourists with a zoo, a rodeo, gift shops, and even sky gondolas. Waterfalls, which still stand today, were built from phosphate and soil deposits in the springs. In the push to make the land more marketable, the river was renamed, and there was constant renovation to add to its appeal. While the waterfalls still remain and are beautiful, I can't help but wonder their impact on the ecosystem as a whole, and how rich in animal life and biodiversity this land would be if it had not been capitalized by man wishing to make money by drawing more people in. A positive feedback loop which only results in pollution of the landscape and more destruction of habitat. Online, many visitors bragged about the plethora of creatures they experienced, including manatees, alligators, and river otters. However, the hundreds of tourists and boats undoubtedly creates an unsuitable habitat for any organisms other than people. Despite this, I was able to discover this banded water snake, or Nerodia facidia, an important control for amphibian and fish populations. They likely prey on fish such as the bluegill, pictured here, otherwise known as Lepomis macrochirus. These fish eat aquatic insect larvae and regulate populations, as well as provide an important food source for larger fish and snakes. I also stumbled upon this Romelia microptera, or lubber grasshopper. Though seen as a major pest and reaper of agricultural destruction, the lubber grasshopper serves an important role as a key food source for many species. Their droppings, known as frass, are also of value as they serve to return nutrients to plants in the ecosystem. Rainbow Springs is a theme park closed in 1974, and throughout that 44-year time span, many changes were made to the ecosystem, including dredging of the river and clearing of the land for facilities. The current state park was saved from becoming purely a waterfront housing community in the 1990s by the state of Florida, following the push of locals wishing to preserve the natural wonder of the springs. Volunteers worked tirelessly to restore the ecology of the park and brought back life to the gardens and forest. Rainbow River is now a designated national natural landmark, an aquatic preserve, and an outstanding Florida water, which all allow special protection to be given to safeguard this piece of natural Florida history. While rangers seek to prevent people from damaging or polluting the park, sidewalks, a ramp for water access, and kayak rentals keep people connected to nature. Despite this seeming like an invasion into the habitat, the park admission funds conservation efforts, and the tame and charming river sparks in people a connectedness to nature, and a desire to protect rather than to destroy. This is the start of a desire to become a plain member, to coexist with nature, and observe it, rather than to take, possess, and ruin. Being a plain member in the Rainbow River means staying within the barriers, staying a safe distance from the animals, being respectful to the plants, picking up after yourself, and appreciating the areas that are still untouched. Today, the signage around the springs seeks to promote the message of conservation and sustainability, drawing attention to the natural features, and seeking to answer questions about ecological elements and human impact. A 2-hour drive from UCF, I encourage everyone to visit the waterfalls, gardens, and river of Rainbow Springs State Park.